Many people in Rochester have expressed interest in entering into the Buddhist path in a more formal way. What this usually means is that they have an interest in practicing what we call the nundro, that's a Tibetan word, for preliminary practice. And preliminary practices, the ones that we begin with as a foundation, have a very strong training aspect to them. You can say that doing these practices is quite different from doing the simple practices like mindfulness or watching your breath or attending weekend retreats here and there, which is really very wonderful if that's what your aspiration is. But entering into a lineage is a much bigger commitment. So maybe an example I can give of the difference would be something like someone who really enjoys dancing, who maybe even dances every day and goes dancing with their friends on weekends, versus someone who trains in ballet to develop a different level of grace that comes from a very deep commitment, a tradition of dance, who relies on a teacher to observe, what the tradition is of a particular dance, how to work with their bodies. So there's a lot of training involved with this. So you can see how, someone who's trained in dance in this way really transforms their body and their understanding of who they are in relationship physically, not just physically, in every level of their being. You could say that's the difference between just doing simple practices and really entering into this bigger commitment. So as for entering into a lineage of wisdom, and here we're talking about a lineage of Tibetan Buddhism with a whole cycle of its own practices and support for transformation, then the student would need to put more into it, make it their lifestyle or their way of working with just everything that comes up in their lives. So when you do this, you experience a similar kind of grace that we were just talking about in transformation, and the blessing of a whole lineage of wisdom that's been passed down from teacher to student. So I felt like while I was here in Rochester doing another teaching, I wanted to honor the request of the group of interested people who have approached me about preliminary practices and entering the lineage. This serve as such a strong foundation for going deeper. And I thought that I'd offer a talk and invite whoever's interested to this talk about what it means to take this bigger step so that people can make an informed, educated decision about whether this might be for you or not. So I will be here in Rochester to meet with anyone interested on April 24th at 10 o'clock a.m. And I think that the location will be announced in the exact time. It will be 9:30 or 10. And there'll be plenty of room for questions and conversation. And for those who feel confident about moving forward, then we'll create a group, form a group together, community, small community, and I can guide you through these practices, something I'm very happy to do because they've been so incredibly profound and practical for me in my life.